before we
The
start,
platformer.
we gotta pick our characters.
Ooh.
There's 4 characters: Jerry, George, Susan, Newman. They each have cards. If you want, I guess, yeah, I'll give a breakdown of each one. So,
Okay.
Jerry has the ability. So all of them have a flesh ability, which is just sort of like a passive thing, kind of. It's like always out. Some of them are kind of like activated. Some of them, actually, I think none of these activate. But yeah, they happen like when they say they happen. So Jerry is whenever you discard a card due to the effect of a joke, which is there's these basic cards. You start the game with 2 funny jokes, and there's a hilarious joke out here that'll discard cards. Jerry also has other jokes in his repertoire, like running joke. So whenever a card is discarded due to the effect of a joke, you may activate the discarded card's effects as if you had played it. So, like if you discard running joke to hilarious joke, you then get to activate the effect of running joke after it's been discarded. And when you do this, I guess I haven't explained action zones yet, but you declare an action zone and then you do the effect.
Okay, so we can have 3 actions going at the same time?
Yeah, basically. And then depending on the zone you play a card in, sometimes their effects change. So for the purposes of Jerry, it's as if you had played it. So if you had played that card, you would have played it in an action zone, so you declare the action zone.
Okay.
And then you activate the card's effects. As far as Jerry's like playstyle goes, his cards have a lot of like synergy between them, and you do a lot of like combo stuff where you can extend really, really hard and like get a lot of advantage or like whatnot. He mostly wins kind of off the back of he can win off the back of like the system mechanics, basically, between funny jokes and
like the Mario
jokes.
Is he well rounded?
I would say he's like pretty well rounded, but he's also kind of like he's a character who's good if you want to like pop off.
Okay. Yeah, when Jerry is strong, he's strong. He runs the show. I mean, the show's name,
I would say, you were asking about Yu-Gi-Oh earlier. He is probably the, like, if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh player, you might like Jerry. Because he's got a lot of, like, discard as a resource, you know, getting advantage for the costs of your cards, stuff like that.
Okay.
George, at the start of your turn, anytime you see a %, that's a symbol that means like victory points. So you get a point for every 10 cards in your garage. Garage is the zone where your deck is. So every 10 cards in your deck. So with George, he has a lot of cards that let him gain extra cards into his deck, and having a big deck, he gets points and whatnot from like just having a large deck.
So he's like a ramp.
Yeah, he kind of like, you build your deck up and then you just sort of passively start winning. And along the way, he can do some other stuff like you may have noticed there's 5 espresso, 3 lungo. These are like pretty basic resource cards. If you've ever played a deck building game, usually they have a lot more of them. In this game, resources are pretty scarce actually. So like you can buy out all the espresso really like comparatively easily, or buy out all the lungos. George can kind of like accelerate that. Depending on like how your opponent plays, you can deny them espressos and whatnot, and like make their deck less consistent, as well as yours is probably going to be less consistent because you have to buy so much stuff.
Okay.
And George has some other like strategies within his cards, but we can get to those in a minute. Susan, Pound of Flesh. Whenever you discard a card from your flesh, you get $1. Susan. So there's a mechanic in this game where you can attach cards to your flesh. Your flesh is just sort of a zone that's outside of the normal like play areas of the game, and those cards that are attached there will stay there like throughout turns. So you can sort of establish a presence on your flesh And Susan is very good at doing that, and has ways to get advantage for if cards are leaving your flesh, which often happens because so you'll sort of use your flesh as a resource.
Okay.
Newman has a gun, and all of Newman's cards interact with the gun in some way where you're like discarding bullets. No other character has bullets, so Newman uniquely gets benefits from so those are the characters. I guess to go over the play zones real quick. You have your 3 action zones, A, B, and C. There's a little bit of logic in terms of like, certain cards are specifically A only or B only. Most cards have a C effect. Not all, but most. And the C effects are usually stronger, but they cost a resource. And the resource that this game uses for like playing cards is, you can call it energy if you want. It's denoted by a little exclamation point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of like super meter, you could think of it.
Oh, okay.
And the resource cards like Espresso give you the energy as well as money. Money you of course use to buy cards. I don't know. Have you ever played a deck building game before?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get the idea.
For the DC deck building game.
Sure.
I played Chanto Cure, which is probably the one that I'm most familiar with. Wait, sorry, Espresso, what's the cost?
So like the cost of this card, it's in the upper right. It's a little 3. If you on Tabletop Simulator, if you hit Alt, it'll zoom in on a card.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's option for
that. Sure.
Nice.
So you have your action zones ABC, and you can play. When you play cards in here, they stay in here, like in play, unless they are discarded by something. Discard is universally like the keyword for moving stuff into your discard, which is the 4th zone. It's what it sounds like. It's where you put cards when they get discarded. If you have no cards in your deck, when you go to draw, you'll shuffle your discard, and then that'll become your deck, which I think is called in the rules refreshing your deck. I don't know that the terminology is going to matter, but you have your extra zone. That's just an extra zone in case you need anything. When I play, I usually put my phone here. Then the flesh zone. This is where you put like your character flesh card, and then when cards attach to your flesh, you put them in there. That's why it's real big, is because there's usually a lot of times there's cards that attach to your flesh and you want to like keep them separate.
Okay.
And then you have your garage. That's where you park your deck. I think some cards might say deck, some cards might say garage. It's pretty interchangeable. And then you have the humor zone. That's where you can track all your humors. Those are the official name for like resources. So like you have your energy, your money, your victory points. You can track other stuff there if you have anything that needs to be tracked, or you can like track stuff directly onto cards, whatever. But for starting the game, you've got these dice here for tracking stuff. I usually use the big one for victory points, and then the smaller ones I use for energy and gold. Or money, I guess. And then your starting deck is 9 cards. It will become 10 after you choose a character, because every character has a card that immediately starts in your deck. I'll go over those in a bit. But it is 7 Ristrettos and 2 funny jokes. And you have a funny joke A and a funny joke B. There's no difference between them other than the action zone they can go into. And you can see the action zones. It's easier to see on a card like Running Joke in the top left.
Okay. Yeah.
So this one is ABC. If you look at Hilarious Joke, it's only C. They're always positioned in the same like spot.
So you can put hilarious. Oh.
Hilarious.
You can only put hilarious joke in C.
Yeah. And then the way card text is written. So -3 exclamation point on hilarious joke, and then a semicolon. So the semicolon denotes a cost, or a mandatory cost. If you cannot fulfill a mandatory cost, you can't play the card. So if you don't have 3 energy to spend on hilarious joke, you can't play it. And if you don't have a card to discard, if you don't have an action card in your hand to discard for hilarious joke, you cannot play it. So the it has these 2 costs here. If you look at running joke, the C effect has a cost, and then the second effect below it does not. That is important because cards will have effects that only happen in certain zones. So better example of this might be airline food, where you have the if you look on the left side of the effect text, there will be either a letter or not. If there's no letter there, for example, on airline food's first effect, draw 1 card, then that happens no matter where you play it.
Yeah, universal. So you're just choosing between B or C.
Right. And then you do the effects in the order they're written. So for airline food, you draw 1 card, and then if you played it in B, you would trash a card from your hand. If you played it in C, you would trash a card from your hand or discard. But C has a mandatory cost on it.
Yeah.
So if there's a mandatory cost anywhere, you have to make sure that you can pay it the moment that you play the card.
But you can keep playing.
Sure. But you can play airline food in B. There's no like mandatory costs on it, so you could always do it. And then other than that, I mean, I'm trying to think. There's a few other like card text things, but I don't think any of them are particularly relevant. A colon denotes a if there's a when and then a colon, everything before the colon, like in between the when and the colon, is the timing that an effect would activate. So when you discard a card due to the effect of a joke, discarding a card due to the effect of the joke is the like condition or the timing that you need to meet, and then you can do the effect. Cards cannot miss timing, like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Consider everything that is a when, consider it an if. If you know what that means, then you know what that means, and if you don't know what that means, don't worry about it, just know that Yu-Gi-Oh's fucked up.
Does Yu-Gi-Oh just have bad language for like...
Yu-Gi-Oh has a mechanic called missing the timing, where if a card says when, sometimes, even if you fulfill the like requirements for it, it can not happen because another game action happens. It's very complicated like and weird.
The stack in Yu-Gi-Oh is weird.
It's kind of that, not exactly. It's very complicated, and I don't want to explain it.
Okay.
But my game doesn't have it because that's fucked up.
Good looking out.
Yes.
This is finally my time.
Yes. So if it says you may, like when blah blah blah, you may. So that means it's optional, of course. If it doesn't say may, then it's mandatory. For example, Susan will always gain the money. Or I guess on George it doesn't say when. It is also a timing thing. If it describes a timing, it describes a timing. If there's like a cost there, which I'm trying to think, I think there's like one card that has it. Or there's a couple. So, problematic jokes on Jerry has a cost and then a colon instead of a semicolon. That indicates that it's an optional cost. So you can play problematic jokes even if you can't pay that 2 energy, but you need to pay the 2 energy in order to get the effect that's afterwards. And then you can activate all optional costs as many times as you want. Problematic jokes has a reminder text on it, just because this card had like very little text.
You may activate this ability as many times as you like.
Yeah, so as long as you can pay the cost. You have to pay the cost every time, but you can do it if you have infinite energy. You can do it infinite times.
Oh. Okay.
And then if you do have like an infinite combo, of which there is like one, I think, in this set that is possible. You just establish that the loop is infinite, and then you say you're doing it an arbitrary number of times. Same as it works in like Magic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is just a rules officiating thing, but all right. I think that is. With the action cards having like specific action zones written on them, some cards have an F, and some cards might have a D. F indicates that it's a flesh effect, so it activates. It can only activate while it's attached to your flesh.
Mm.
If there's no timing written on it, then it just passively activates that way all the time. So insurance fraud, always, as long as it's on your flesh, you may treat actions attached to your flesh as if they're in your hand. But then money laundering has discard this card from your flesh at the start of your turn. And then that's an optional cost. You get $1 for every counter.
For every ass counter? Ass counters?
All the counters in this game are ass counters. There's no real... originally there was a card called Incorrect Assumption that had assumption counters abbreviated as ass. And then when I started making other cards, I just decided they all have the same counter. In case anything will ever care about ass counters. But currently nothing like names ass counters, so you can just treat them as counters, but it's for potential design space.
Okay.
Okay, I believe that's all the card things. So, if you notice, if you compare Running Joke to Problematic Jokes, there is one of Running Joke is a signature action, and Problematic Jokes is just an action. So the difference between these is that every character has one signature action, and you start the game with a copy of it in your deck.
Okay.
And then there will be 2 more like out that you can buy like any other action. But only the character that's like written on the signature action can buy the signature action. So if you're playing Jerry and I'm playing Susan, and you have Running Joke out that you can buy, I cannot buy it because I'm not Jerry. However, for actions, any character can buy an action. They do have the character name on it, but that's just more of an organizational thing, and like you pick only from your actions which ones will go out.
Yeah, Running Joke is a Jerry only card.
Right. And then Problematic Jokes I can choose to buy if it's out, even if I'm not Jerry.
Oh, okay, got it.
Because once you pick a character, you'll go through their cards and you'll pick your signature action and then 3 other actions, and those will go out and be the cards that are buyable for us. This area where you buy cards is called the cafe.
Got it. Is this Moe's?
No, this is a picture of my cat Birdie.
No, I mean like the zone.
Yeah, the zone cafe is the cafe.
Yeah.
It's a cat cafe.
Jerry's a cat.
Jerry's not a cat. The picture underneath everything is of my cat.
I don't know who Susan is.
Susan's Susan. She's like a what do you call it? A scam artist. The lore, I can give you the lore rundown.
Sure, I would like the lore.
So generally all these characters, they're entered into the theoretical deck building tournament, which is a in a universe it's a card game tournament. The cards we're playing represent the cards that these characters play, but in their universe it's like a constructed trading card game. So the mechanics are completely different. Anyway, in that universe, Jerry has entered the theoretical deck building tournament because he's a really shitty comedian and he's late on rent. So he needs to win this tournament so that he can afford to hire an assassin to kill his landlord.
Wow.
George is Jerry's friend who just like goes with him to the tournament and then accidentally gets entered into bracket.
Okay.
But George thinks it would be really, really funny if he won. Hold on, I realized my I must have moved this window at some point and it screwed up the capture. But it's okay. I don't think anything was happening on the right side. Anyway, so George is entered into the tournament by accident. Thinks it would be very funny if he won, and took Jerry's assassin money. Susan is a scam artist turned assassin who has been hired to kill Jerry, but purely because of a butt dial and like not quite understanding what was being said. And Susan's on pretty hard times too, so she really needs to get this job. Newman is a member of a cult, the Cult of the New Man. Every member of the cult is Newman, to be clear. They're all kind of collectively one entity. And they believe strongly in, you know, finding the secrets of the universe through like the what did I call it? Chemical expansion, let's say.
Okay. Chemical expansion?
Yeah,
They're chaotic.
No, they're not really chaotic. I don't know. They're overall like pretty nice people, I think. Anyway, Newman's joined the tournament to try and raise awareness for the cult. Or, I mean, you know, raise awareness, advertise it, I guess. I don't know. You get the idea.
Yeah. Is he the shadow sponsor of the tournament?
No.
Damn.
There's an expansion coming that's going to add more characters. So this is not the full bracket, let's say, of what the tournament is.
You better have a Kramer.
No, there's no plans for a character named Kramer.
What about what Kramer was like on the first episode?
None of these characters are based on any people or other media. Any resemblance is purely coincidental. To be clear. I will leak that the new expansion has 2 all-new characters and 2 new flesh cards for existing characters. So rather than using this Jerry card, there's going to be a new card called Goth Jerry, which has a different effect. If you look on the theoretical deck building game Twitter, there's a preview of Goth Jerry. And then there is of the new characters, one of the new characters I will reveal is named Eleanor. And she has a lot of effects. Yeah, she has effects that deal with trashing cards and gaining useless cards. I didn't talk about Garnet. Garnet is a worthless card. It doesn't do anything and it costs nothing. It only exists because some cards will cause you to gain Garnets, or some cards will cause you to gain cards that are worth an amount of money, and Garnet is worth 0. So sometimes you need a card that's worth 0. That's what Garnet is.
Okay.
Oh, and when you trash a card in this game, it goes back into the cafe, into its resource pile. It does not go into like a trashed zone or anything.
Okay.
I hide this. Okay. If you're ready to make a character selection, you can make it. If you want me to go over what all of the signature cards are, I can do that.
I think I want to be George.
George? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I will be Jerry.
That's a good.
So. Oops.
Where do we put our guy?
You put your guy in your flesh zone, and then you need to pick. So take out your signature card, make 3 of them, and then put 1 of them in your deck. All the actions start at 3 copies, and the signature card, one of those 3 is gonna is gonna start in your deck. Hold on, there's like your roommate or someone is coming through.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Yeah. Well, while you do that, for the benefit of the stream, I'm gonna go through Jerry's cards and what they do.
Okay.
Is this game good? Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I've had, if you look on the itch page, you can find some pull quotes. I have all of my playtesters think it's good.
How many people have playtested it before me?
I can give you the full list because they're credited in the rules document. Give me a second. Okay, so the credits on the game, I did the design and the art. For playtesters, we got Aaron Kornick, Amy Rose, Eddie Perez, Boats and Joes, and Lila Tepernick. So all of those people have told me varying amounts of that they like it.
Feedback.
Yeah. Oh, and then of course Birdie is art reference. Okay, so Jerry's cards and what they do. So Running Joke is the signature action, and what it does is when you play it in A or B, you get to return an action card from your discard to your hand. When you play it in C, you first discard an action card from your deck. So you can use this on turns to like recur something and get it back so that you can play it again. Very useful for when you've like discarded something to a funny joke or whatever. If you play it and you have energy to let it go off, you can use it to effectively just like play out a card from your deck and then immediately get it back in your hand. Since this is a joke, so with Jerry's flesh effect, discarding the card will activate it. It Was Just a Joke is another joke card, and what it does is it discards the top X cards of your garage based on how much energy you spend. So, as Jerry, when you mill cards, you discard them from the top of your deck. You get to activate their effects if they're action cards. So it's very good for that. It also has some synergies with other Jerry cards because, you know, Jerry's got other cards that care about stuff in discard. Like, you know, you could use It Was Just a Joke, mill out a bunch of stuff. Now you have a graveyard setup or a discard setup for Running Joke to grab something back to your hand. And then you can play it. So whatever action you want, kind of 3-card combo it. I Survived, Let's See If You Can is a draw card. You draw 2 cards, then discard 1 from your hand. So you get to cycle stuff. Notably, this card's not a joke. So if you like discard something for I Survived, you don't get to activate its effects through Jerry's effect. Although, again, Jerry has other cards that care about stuff being in discard, like Running Joke, or just stuff that like you want to be discarding anyway. So it does have synergies with other Jerry cards, but not directly with the flesh effect. Then, if you play it from C, you get to discard a card from your hand or an active action. This card will always be active, so you can always play it in C and discard it to basically just draw 2 cards for free if you have the energy for it. So good on that front as well. It's like a pretty good generic draw card, which also makes it a little sketchy to play because your opponent can just buy these out from you. Elderly Driver is kind of a win condition that Jerry can run. What it does is, once per turn, when you have no empty action zones, you discard all your actions, all your active actions, and you get 3 points. So having no empty action zones would mean all 3 of these are filled. So you discard all of them and you get 3 points. Then if you play it in C, you draw 3 cards before you do that. So what this lets you do is, like, if you are kind of late game, you have a pretty small deck, you can probably cycle into some combination of cards that will let you play this every turn. And then getting 3 points every turn is pretty strong, because in this game, you win when you get to 20 points. Problematic Jokes This, you can spend 2 energy. This is an optional cost, so you can do it as many times as you want, and you don't have to do it immediately when you play. Discard an active action, and then, yeah, you can activate it as many times as you want. So this, because it's a joke, it's very good for, like, you have stuff out that you've played once, and you kind of get to play it again for 2 cost, while, like, setting up your discard. And it's a repeatable thing, too, so it can be like an energy sink if you're running some kind of deck that has a lot of energy and nothing to really spend it on. Airline Food lets you draw a card and then trash card from your hand. It's a pretty, like, decent trash card. If you play it in C, for a pretty low energy cost, you can trash card from your hand or from your discard, which is obviously way better because, you know, if you've played cards, you can get the value out of them, and then they're in your discard and you trash them. Oh, that's another thing. Not a lot of deck building games don't do this, but when you play a card like Espresso or Lungo, which are called decoctions, these go directly into discard after you play them. So in a lot of other deck building games, you play like your money cards, and then they just kind of sit out in like a play area until the end of your turn. In this game, that's not true. They go into your discard, and you can cycle through them if you have enough card draw. So that's something with Airline Food. A lot of times you want to trash your Ristrettos, which are like the basic money card, because you want to be like drawing into Espressos and stuff instead. So with Airline Food, you get to play the Ristretto if you do the C version, get the money for it, and then trash it. Observational Comedy. When you play it, you get to draw a card, so immediately, you know, pretty fine, replaces itself. Then when you discard a card due to a card effect, you place an ass counter on it, and then when you discard the card, you can discard the card in order to draw a card for every ass counter. So this is really good because it'll rack up counters as you're like doing combo stuff where you're playing jokes and discarding, or like you can play It Was Just a Joke, discard a whole bunch, and then draw a whole bunch off of Observational Comedy. And then Young Love is a card where when it is discarded by card effect, you draw a card and you get $1. And then if you actually play it out, you get 2 energy. So Young Love is a card that's like generically, if you're going to trash a card and you don't have like a kind of joke setup where you're gonna discard this card and then get a whole bunch of advantage as if you had played it, you can discard Young Love, and then Young Love automatically like gives you some advantage for it. Which also makes it like a fairly okay generic card, although it's a little expensive. You can also do a pretty good combo with playing out Young Love and then discarding it with Problematic Jokes after you've played it out. You get the energy for it, then you discard it, so you get to draw the card. Then you get the energy again because of Jerry's fleshback. Yeah,
the Wombo combo.
Big synergies, like I said. He's kind of a complicated character to play, but he has a lot of like non-linearity, I guess, in terms of like you can often make a number of choices, and it is very unclear what the best choice would be in the given situation. So he's good if you like complex characters, I think. I would say if you're new to the game, I deleted the excess ones, whatever. Jerry is good if you like kind of complicated stuff or doing like big combos, card advantage, etc. George is good if you want more of kind of a straightforward economy, economy focus, not even necessarily. Just like, you can't really get punished with George for making a few suboptimal buys. I've heard one of my playtesters compared George, said he was kind of like playing Dominion, where like you're getting advantage for having cards in your deck, but having the cards in your deck is also making your deck less consistent. So there's sort of a you make your decisions about in that kind of way, whereas most other characters really do just want to like streamline their deck. Susan, I think, is pretty good if you want to play the sort of like generic small deck strategy that a lot of deck building games have. That's kind of more how Susan plays, where you have a lot of good like ways to get cards out of your deck, and then you mostly focus on having good economy and like buying out stuff. Which is, I guess I didn't talk about Please Laugh is a kind of unique card. So it costs 10, and then when you get the card, you get 3 points, and you do not remove it from the cafe. So this card does not enter your deck. You just get the points for buying it.
Okay.
And when you buy cards...
Those are victory points?
Yeah, the percent sign means victory points.
Yeah.
Also, general deck building game rule, or general rule that's true in most deck building games I've played, and true here as well. When you gain a card, it goes to your discard. So, like, when you buy a card, it goes to your discard. If a card says you gain a card, it'll go to your discard.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the lowdown on what Jerry's stuff does. I think I'm gonna play I Survived, Observational Comedy, I'm gonna play I Survived, Airline Food, and Elderly Driver, I think.
So what is my hand?
Give me a
my
second.
Signature card, my signature action card that's in my hand.
In your hand? Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
No, so your it starts in your deck.
Okay.
And then you want 2 more of them because that'll go out in the resource area or the cafe when we start playing. Then you need 3 more of actions. So I'll give you the rundown on George actions. You have Call of the Ocean, lets you discard your deck. So that is very good because it lets you cycle your deck and go back to having a full deck, or like close to a full deck for George's ability. Also, like if you buy a card, it goes to your discard. It'll take you a while to get to it. If you Call of the Ocean right after you know, if you Call of the Ocean, you buy a card, it'll be in rotation in your deck sooner. You can also use the C effect if you have energy to draw some cards. And a lot of cards, I think specifically a lot of George cards, on their C effects, they have, like, discard this card. That'll let you discard the card from the active zone so that you can play more C cards if you have more energy. One Man's Trash. So you would play this, attach it to me, and then when I trash a card, you could discard One Man's Trash from me in order to gain the card that I trashed. So you can use this to, like, steal my cards. We Live in a Society. When you buy the card, you get to draw 2 cards. This is specifically buying and not gaining, which is important for exponential growth. But it is useful for if you're playing a set that gives you, like, a lot of buys, and you're just kind of generically buying things. This is a card that you don't necessarily want to play, like, it's just a worse version of an espresso. But when you buy it, you get to draw 2 cards, which is pretty good. Corporate card. You play it, you get +$1, +1 buy, and then you can play it in C to draw a card and discard it. So
+1 buy is you buy a card.
+1 buy is you get to buy an extra card. Normally you have 1 buy a turn. If a card says +1 buy, you get to have extra buys.
Okay.
So corporate
cards. How much
cards.
is it to buy a card?
What?
How much is it to buy a card?
It's whatever the cost on the card is. So
okay.
Hilarious Joke costs 6. It's in the upper right. Espresso costs 3. Lungo costs 6. Garnet costs 0.
So that's the cost to buy it, but not the cost. So there is no cost to play.
The only cost to play would be written on the card.
Got it.
So for example, the C effect of corporate card has -2 exclamation point.
Yeah, it's on the ability.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Exponential growth. When you play it in A or B, you trash the top card of your deck. So it says trash top card of your deck costing X. X can only ever be what the cost of the top card of your deck is, so you don't need to like declare it and then trash and hope you get it right. It's just that the value is now what X is. And then you gain 2 cards from the resource area, I guess I should say cafe, with a combined cost of X plus 1 or less. So you trash a card, and then you get to get 2 cards that costs 1 more combined. So if you trashed an exponential growth, you would get 2 cards that combined cost 6 or less. So you could get like 2 We Live in a Society, for instance, or 2, or you could get 1 Hilarious Joke and 1 Garnet. But you must gain 2. And this is gain and not buy. So cards like We Live in a Society, you don't get to draw the cards if you get them off of this.
They just go in the discard?
Yeah, they go into the discard, and then they'll be part of your deck when you cycle.
Okay.
Granite, it gives you 2 energy, and it costs 1. The main use of Granite is that with exponential growth, if you trash a card and you just kind of want that card back, you can get the card back and then get a Granite. And then later, if you get rid of a Granite, you can get a card that costs 2 and then like a Garnet. I Want to Be Forgotten. When you buy this card, you gain 2 points. And otherwise, it doesn't do anything. You can, however, discard it for like a Hilarious Joke or something. And Money for Nothing. When you buy this card, for the first time this turn, plus $3 and plus 1 buy. So you can use Money for Nothing in order to like basically get an extra $1 and buy something else. But you can only actually do that like once a turn. And then the C effect of exponential growth I didn't mention. You trash a card from your discard or an active action that costs X. So you can use it to trash a specific card as well. Useful for like, you'd want to get rid of I Want to Be Forgotten so that you can buy it later. Stuff like that.
Okay. So, how do I build my deck? I choose. What do I
so
choose
you choose 3 of these, and then these will be the cards that you can buy.
I see. Well, I definitely want.
And I can buy these as well.
You can buy my Jerry cards or my George cards.
I can buy your George cards that are actions. I can't buy exponential growth because it's a signature.
Yeah.
And you can buy my Jerry cards that are actions. You just can't buy.
I definitely want exponential growth.
Yeah, well, you have to take that one. That's the signature.
So I can put that in my deck?
No. Just set it to the side for now. And then you need three of these 7.
Got it. Granite is good. Corporate card. Okay, Money for Nothing for sure.
Okay.
This is just 1 card.
Well, all of these cards are 3.
Oh.
In the tabletop simulator, I just made them 1 because it's awkward to move like groups of cards around rather than single cards. Also, for anyone watching, if you do get the game off of itch, it comes with the images for these playmats. So you'll have the like action zones and the little outlines for where to put cards in the cafe.
Okay, so how do I select?
Just
what to put in my deck?
Well, so you need to pick. What we're picking right now is the cards that are going to be purchasable in game.
Got it.
So your starting deck is already set.
Okay, I see. All right, so I want corporate card, I think. 2 percentages victory points.
Yeah. And then, did you want money for nothing?
Yeah.
Or will you already have 3 out?
Yeah. Let's see. What's better than money for nothing? I'll sub money for nothing for a minute.
Okay. So the cards that you didn't use, you can just throw
trash
away.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move this over here. Then I'll make these all. Okay. Let's roll for who goes first. I rolled a 6.
11.
Okay. So you can choose if you want to go first, I guess.
Okay, I'll go. Well, you can go first.
Okay, sure.
Show me how it's done.
So before your first turn, draw 5 cards. Shuffle your deck and draw 5 cards.
Okay,
It's
R
R
shuffle.
is the hotkey for shuffle deck. You can hit a number over a deck of cards, and it'll draw that many.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And then I can see these cards?
You can see the cards. It's just there so that when your turn starts, your deck is the correct number. The way that drawing cards at the end of your turn works is you go through like the cleanup phase where you get rid of everything, and then you draw back up. So at the start of your turn, it's specifically with George this matters. At the start of your turn, if you have a deck that is 10 cards, it'll be 5 cards and not 10. So his skill doesn't proc on his first turn.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna start. I have $3 from 3 Ristrettos. I'm gonna buy an espresso. And then I'm gonna play Funny Joke B, discarding Running Joke. So I get 1 point, and I end my turn.
Green is your victories?
Purple is my victories. These are just on 1 also. So at the end of my turn, I send any active actions that I have to the discard. I discard any remaining cards that were in my hand, and then I draw 5. I also clear out, like, you don't carry over money or energy. So that all gets reset. You do, you know, your victory points stay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so my turn then?
Yep.
Alright, play Risotto. Cetro.
Ristretto.
Ristretto. So that gets me a... Sorry, the money sign is just $1?
Yeah. So
And
this
the
will be
exclamation mark
$1
is
and
energy?
1 energy. Yeah.
And then these are 2 now?
No, well, your turn starts there at 0.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
The die doesn't have a 0 on it, but
And then the
it goes straight to discard. Yeah.
Okay. So how much energy do I have? I only have 1 energy.
Well, you've only played 1 Ristretto. You should have at least 1 more.
Yeah, I can play as many as I want.
Yeah, you can decoctions. You can just play.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna do 3 of them.
Okay.
Total.
Here, I'll track them for you.
Thanks. Okay, and then I can play. I'll play Funny Joke in A.
Okay.
Discard an action card from your hand, and then +1 victory points.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, you start at 0.
Oh,
so you'll be
yeah,
at 1.
okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
What's the action card you're discarding?
The signature action, Exponential Growth.
Okay.
And then that's my turn.
You're not gonna buy anything.
Oh, right.
You get 1 buy.
And I have 3 gold.
Yeah. You have $3.
Yeah. And I can buy your cards too.
Yeah, if you want.
I'm gonna buy money for nothing. Am I taking the whole stack?
No, you just take 1.
How do I just select?
You just have to like grab it and move quickly. Yeah.
Okay. And that goes in my discard right away.
It goes in your discard. So now you have $4 and 1 buy.
Corporate card. I'll buy a corporate card.
Okay.
2 corporate.
You only have 1 buy.
Oh yeah, my buy. Yeah. Catch. Okay. That'll be my turn then. And then do I reshuffle my discard?
No. You draw 5 cards from your deck.
Oh right, I still have.
And you get rid of anything that's like left in your action zones, or anything that was left in your hand.
I see.
And then yeah, if you need to draw or like interact with the top card of your deck, and your deck is empty, then you would shuffle.
Okay, so I'm gonna reset my die back to.
Yep. Okay. So my turn. I have 4 Ristretto.
Boom.
I'm gonna buy. I survived. Let's see if you can. And then I end my turn.
Okay. How did you select all those cards?
If you can kind of like drag and.
Got it.
Yeah.
I think I figured it
it's
out.
a little awkward sometimes.
Yeah, I'm playing 4 Ristrettos. So I have $4, right? 4 energy. I will. I'll buy money for nothing, I guess.
comp.
I go to $5.
Yep.
I'm gonna buy I Want to Be Forgotten.
Okay.
So I go 3 victory points. And then I can't buy anymore. I think that's all I can do.
Okay.
So my hand, do I discard my hand? Or do I,
yeah, you discard anything that's left in your hand.
Okay, and this...
And then shuffle that. And then draw 5 cards.
Shuffles... What's
R.
shuffle? R?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's R for randomize.
Got it. Do I draw 5 already or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I should mention a rule of this game. At any point in time, you can look at what cards are in your deck. With the caveat that you return your deck to however it was randomized before. So if you like knew the top card of your deck, obviously you keep that there, and then shuffle the rest. Or whatever. But you don't have to like look through your discard and try to like mentally subtract to figure out what's left in your deck if you're ever at a decision point like that. Alright, so I play 2 Ristretto and an Espresso. So I have $4 and 4 energy. And then I'm going to play I Survived. Let's see if you can in C for 3. So I draw 2. And then I discard an active action. I'm going to play this Ristretto. Go to $5. 2 energy. I'm going to play Funny Joke B. I'm going to discard my Running Joke. Because of my flesh ability, Running Joke activates, and I'm going to get... Well, I get the point from Funny Joke. Then Running Joke activates, I get I Survive. Let's see if you can. My hand. And then I'm going to play I Survived in A. I'm going to draw 2. I am going to discard Funny Joke A. I'm going to play another Ristretto. I'm now at 3 and $6. I'm going to buy a Money for Nothing. Puts me at $7. And then I'm going to buy an Elderly Driver. And I end my turn. I draw 3. I need to draw 2 more cards, so I'm gonna shuffle my discard and draw 2. And all my money and energy and such resets.
Oh, but you didn't put those 3 cards back in your deck?
So it was my deck was 3 cards. So I drew 3, and then I needed to draw 2 more. So I shuffled my discard. If my deck were 0 cards, I would have just immediately shuffled the discard.
Yeah. Okay, so my turn, I'm gonna play 2 Ristretto. Boom. I get $2. 2 energy. I'm really bad at it.
Oh, if you hit G, it groups them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay. I will... I'll play a Funny Joke. That'll give me a victory point. I guess it doesn't discard. Does it discard right away?
Yeah.
Alright. I'll discard, yeah, I'll discard money for nothing.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. So sorry, why is the funny joke in your discard?
Because I thought it resolved itself. It stays in A.
Yeah, cards stay in action zones until they, until something tells you that to, like, discard it.
Got it. Alright, then, I'll play... Oh, I'll play this C, actually. $1, one buy. Get $3. I'll buy... Are
you using the gold for your energy?
I'm using gold for energy, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you're at 2 energy or you're at 0 energy?
I don't think anything gave me energy.
Other than the Ristrettos?
Oh, right, yeah, the Ristrettos, which I played 2 of, so yeah.
And then you're spending the 2 on the corporate card.
Yeah. So I should be back in 0 after this.
Did it?
But yeah, I'm drawing 1, discarding this card. Play Ristretto again. So this is 4. Am I doing this right?
Did you buy anything? You haven't yet.
I haven't bought anything yet.
Yeah. Then yeah, you're at 4, and then you'd be at 1 energy.
We have 1 energy. So I can't buy any more discards, whatever my third card is.
It was money for nothing. Yeah.
Card.
I bought up the last money for nothing.
Yeah. Okay, then I'll buy I want to be
Okay.
$6. And then I'll put this here. And I'll randomize, then I'll draw 5.
Okay.
Oh wait, what about this card?
Oh, now it does get discarded. At the end of your turn, anything that's in action zones gets discarded. So yeah, that should be... You can put your cards back and redraw if you want. Okay, so my turn. There we go. 3 Ristretto. Ooh. I have $3. 3 energy. I'm gonna buy... I survived. Let's see if you can. Then I'm gonna funny joke B. Discarding running joke. I get a point. And I add I survived to my hand. Then I'm gonna play... I survived in the C for 3 energy. I'm gonna draw 2 cards. And I'm gonna discard 1 from... I'm gonna discard this funny joke. Then I'm gonna play I survived A. Draw 2 cards. Discard this Ristretto. I'm gonna play Elderly Driver B. I have no... Yeah, I have no empty action zones, so I discard all 3 of these. I gain 3 points. I get a 6. And I end my turn.
Okay. Alright, I'm playing 4 Stratos. Oh no.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. I'm playing. Play exponential growth in A. So it says trash the top part of your deck.
Yeah.
X. So X is just whatever value that appears.
So just draw 1 and then trash it.
Draw 1. It's a Ristretto.
Okay. So that it's trashed, so it goes into the cafe or the resource area, and now you can gain. You gain
Wait, is that
2.
0?
It costs 0, so you gain 2 cards that cost
1.
up to 1. So the only things you're going to be able to get are Ristretto and Garnet, I think.
So I can just get 2 Ristrettos?
Well, there's only 1 Ristretto that you can get here.
Oh.
You're going to have to get a Garnet, I think.
That sucks. Well, whatever. Maybe I'll recycle it later.
Yeah.
So this goes back to my discard, and then grab one of these. And then this ends.
Yeah. When you started your turn, how many cards did you have in your deck? You had, like, 11 or something?
Ooh. I should have gained a victory point,
Yeah,
are you saying?
I think so.
Yeah, because I drew a card, so I
Yeah,
must
yeah.
have at
Okay.
least 10.
Wait. Why did you do that?
Because my turn's over.
Yeah, no, your discard. You only put your discard into your deck when you have no cards in deck.
Oh, my bad. Fuck.
I
Well, I
think
didn't
you had
randomize yet.
draw 7 cards because it'll be the 7
Yeah,
top,
yeah,
and then just throw them all.
yeah. My B.
That's okay.
I think tabletop is like getting me in the zone of just grabbing stuff.
Yeah, it's Tabletop Simulator is a little wonky.
Okay, so that's this card. Sorry, I had a buy phase I never even used. So
Oh, you're right.
Go shopping. So
How much
let's
money do you
go
have?
Shopping. 4.
Yeah.
So I should buy. Want to be forgotten? Why not? Yeah. I'm buying the last. I want to be forgotten.
Okay, so you gain 2. So you go to 9.
Go to 9. That's my turn.
Okay.
Now I'll discard everything. No. Sorry. Now I'll draw 5.
Okay. I'm going to play. I'm gonna play this espresso. 2 and 2. Then I'm gonna play funny joke, and I'm gonna discard money for nothing, which activates from Jerry's effect. So I draw a card, and then 2 Ristretto, or 3 Ristretto. So I'm at 5, and I gain the points on at 7. I will buy a second running joke. And I end my turn.
Playing a Ristretto. Funny joke. I'm discarding I want to be forgotten. There should be. So wait, sorry. Yeah, I gain a thing.
So the funny joke you played, right?
Yeah.
So it should be out.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny joke, yeah, and that gets discarded. Okay, I think that's my turn. That's my turn.
Okay.
And then I'll draw 3.
Did you discard the cards that were left in your hand at the end of your turn?
No, I should have done that, right?
Yeah. And then you'll draw 2 more.
What's up? Oh, there's only 1 card left in the hand, so.
Yeah. So now you...
Flip, shuffle, draw 1.
Okay. I'll play Funny Joke.
Whoa.
B. I'm gonna discard this money for nothing. Draw a card because of Jerry's effect. Then I'm gonna play I Survived. Or wait. Yeah. I'm gonna play I Survived. Let's see if you can. I'm gonna draw 2. An espresso and a ristretto. 3 energy. $3. I'm gonna play Elderly Driver C, so I draw 3 cards. I lose 3 energy. Then everything. Oh, I forgot to gain a point from the Funny Joke. Everything gets discarded because of Elderly Driver, and I gain 3 points. So I go to 11.
Dang! Took the lead.
Yeah. Then I play 3 Ristretto. 3 energy and 6. And then... What about this? I'm gonna play Running Joke A. And grab a Funny Joke B to my hand from discard. Then I'm going to play Funny Joke B. I'm going to discard I Survive. Let's see if you can. Because of Jerry's effect, I'm going to activate it as if I played in C, so I'm going to lose 3 energy. Gain the point from Funny Joke. Then I'm going to draw 2, and then I will discard 1 from my hand or active. I'm going to discard the Running Joke from A. I'm going to play I Survived in C. I'm going to draw 2, and then I'm going to discard 1. I'm going to discard this money for nothing. And then I'm going to buy a Lungo for 6.
Nice.
End my turn.
Okay. I'll play Ristretto. On a 1/1. Damn it. I'll just do, the only thing I can do is this, Funny Joke. I'll discard a Garnet. I'll go up to 11.
You cannot discard a Garnet for Funny Joke. It has to be an action card.
Oh, it's an action, sorry.
Yeah, Garnet is a void.
Then I'll discard I Want It to Be Forgotten. Instead, it's an action. I'll play... Play corporate card, go to $2. too. Airline food?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy an airline food. Oh, I'll gain a point because my George passive.
Sure.
That'll be my turn.
Okay. My turn. I'm gonna play an espresso and a ristretto. 3 and 3. I'm gonna play elderly driver in C and a draw 3. Okay, that's 5 ristretto.
Dang.
I think I'm just gonna buy a airline food though.
What's the deal?
Oh, what's the deal with all these airline foods? Alright. Go.
I got a ristretto. 2 and 2. I'll do money for nothing. I'll draw 1. I'll play another ristretto. 3 and 3. Let's see, what's a 3 cost card?
Espresso?
That's true. I'll buy an espresso for sure. And let's see. Let me pick this up.
You can like drag and drop to highlight everything and hit G.
Oh, that's beautiful. Hell yeah, that's a great. So that's my turn.
My turn. I'm gonna play 2 ristretto. 2 and 2. Ooh, wait, where am I? No. Take that back. I'm gonna play Funny Joke A. I'm gonna play I Survive, Let's See If You Can A. I draw 2, and then I'm gonna discard 1. I'm gonna discard this ristretto. Then no, wait. I'm gonna discard. I gave the point. I'm gonna discard this Funny Joke. Then I'm gonna play Running Joke. I'm gonna get back the I Survived. I'm gonna play 3 ristretto. I have 3 energy. I'm gonna play I Survived in C. Then I'm gonna play Lungo. 6 or ristretto. I'm at 7. And like 4 energy. Oh, and I'm discarding the I Survived. And I'm gonna buy another Lungo. Go.
Okay. 3 ristrettos. I'm going to an exponential growth, but I'm just trying to choose where I'm going to select it. I like having the option of like having a card and being like, okay, what do I do with it? That's it. This is some good game design. I think I want to. I've never used an energy yet, so I'm just gonna play this on C. Trash a card from your discard or an active action card costing X. So I still. What is X if I don't have to do A or B? How do I find the value?
You trash a card from your discard or an active action that costs X. So you choose the card that you want to trash, and then it's what the cost is.
Okay. Because I want to trash a Garnet.
So here's the thing. If you trash a Garnet, you're going to have to get 2 cards whose value equals 1 or less. So you're just going to get Garnets again.
Oh, so wait, I'm going to upgrade... Yeah, so the purpose of that card actually is just to, like, trash a Espresso and to get a Lungo or something? Or...
No, so you could trash, like, I Want to Be Forgotten, and then get another Exponential Growth and a Garnet, let's say.
Oh,
you can use it to, like, upgrade a card, or you can use it to, like, split a card. So you could...
Sorry, how do I, like, search my a pile?
You right-click and then search. Or I don't know if Mac is different.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe like option click or something.
Trashing. No, yeah, you're right. So yeah, I Want to Be Forgotten. Yeah. Where should I put that?
You put it in the resource area.
Oh, I see. Back in the cafe.
The cafe.
And that card costs 4. So I gain 2 cards in the resource area with combined costs 5 or less.
Yeah. So you could get like an Espresso and a corporate card. Or you could get like Exponential Growth and a Garnet.
Yeah, so I'm getting an Espresso and I'm gonna get an airline food.
Okay.
Okay, great. So that is my turn.
Okay.
This is just one card. Flip.
Yep.
Rotate 4. New garage. Okay, your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna play... I survived a... Draw 2. Discard 1. Okay, I'm gonna discard the money for nothing. Then I'm gonna play 2 Ristretto. Doing 2. I'm going to play Airline Food C. I'm gonna trash a Ristretto. Or I draw 1 and I trash. I'm gonna trash this Ristretto. And I'm at no more energy. I'll play out this Ristretto. I'm at 1 energy, $3. Elderly Driver B. These get discarded. I gain 3 points. I'm at 16. And then I'm going to get an Espresso, I think, by $3.
Damn, you're close.
Yeah. I'm going to 1 energy. Hold on, what's the card left in my deck? Espresso. Okay, rather just draw that on my turn. I'm gonna end my turn.
Three Ristretto. Oh wait, sorry. Begin. I have 15 cards, so 3 Ristrettos. 3. 3. I will play airline food. In B, I'll trash my. I want to be forgetting. Dropped it. Okay. I dropped it and it like fell in the abyss of the.
Oh, it'll like respawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's it. Well, no, sorry. I find space.
Did you gain a point at the start of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Draw 5. Sweet. And your turn.
All right, I'm gonna play Espresso and Ristretto. 3. I'm gonna play I Survived.
Yeah.
Play I Survived in C. Yeah. Draw 2 cards. And then I will discard. I'll discard this running joke, I think. I'll play Money for Nothing A.
Oh.
I'll draw 1. And then I will Funny Joke B. Discarding the running joke. I'll return to my hand the running joke, why not? Get a point. I got 1 more Stretto. That's 4. I will buy I Want to Be Forgotten.
Oh.
I will go to 19. I will end my turn.
Going to 14 because I got 10 cards.
Sure.
And an espresso. Stretto. 4 and 4. Nothing. Sorry, I want to be forgotten. 16. That's my turn. So I'll go draw 5 cards. Alright, your turn.
Okay. I will play Funny Joke, discarding I Survived, and I will go to 20, and game ends. Draw 2, third 1.
I liked it. I definitely got the hang of it.
Yeah,
like
good games.
3 or 4, turn 3 or 4. I kind of got.
There's no handshake option in
Yeah, first or shake.
Yeah.
GG. I liked it.
Yes.
It's a fun game.
I think it's a cool game.
Yeah, it's perfectly like has the ramp. Like I like George. Definitely, I like George as a deck.
It definitely.
I like the idea of like building and ramping and like just getting a more resource.
Yeah.
Like, I want to buy Lungos though. I wish I was able to buy Lungos.
I think
if I played it, I would.
Yeah. I think this match took us like an hour, but when you're more familiar with the game and you're not like clarifying rules, matches tend to go in like 20 minutes maximum. It's pretty quick, especially compared to other deck building games.
Yeah, I'm sure this in like the actual pen and paper or like a tabletop should go way faster.
Oh yeah,
it took so long just to like figure out a macro shuffle stuff.
Yeah. And it's a lot. It's fast. It's kind of fucked up. you start the game like with gas because you start with your signature card.
Yeah, I didn't play the signature card that often.
There's also choosing your cards. You can make a lot of like you can make some choices about matchup stuff. So like in our match, I ended up buying the
you bought
money
out
for
a lot of
nothing.
money.
I bought the money for nothing, and it let me get Elderly Driver like faster than I would normally be able to, which then kind of like put me in end game. So you could maybe make the choice next time we played, like, all right, I'm not gonna put out money for nothing. I'll put out something else.
Yeah.
Or like,
like understanding what your kit is or loadout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really understand what I was choosing, but now it makes sense. Sweet.
There's a lot of variation in how you can play. It'll get also a lot it's gonna get even more complicated when the expansion comes out.
Yeah.
Introducing new fleshes and wholly new characters.
I like
that expansion should be coming out maybe by the end of the month. Hard to say. This November's and December start to get wonky in terms of how much time I have to work on it because of holidays. But should be coming soon. I don't have a Patreon.
Where can I buy this game?
So, if you would like, glad you asked. If you would like to buy the game, where's OBS? Let me make sure.
Is this game available at Target?
It's not available at Target. We have moral differences with Target.
Damn. Damn, Target. What you do, Target?
If you want to buy this game, here's what you do. You open up your browser of choice. You go to crimefighter.itch.io. And then you click on Theoretical Deck Building Game. And then you scroll to Download Now, Name Your Price. And then you don't click on this button to get the game for free. Instead, you fill out the amount that you want to pay. And you can check out with PayPal or with your card.
It's like a Radiohead pay for.
Yes, it's this is the Radiohead of deck building games.
Nice.